Hello everyone. So welcome to our inaugural battle report of the Middle-earth campaign, where we're starting right at the beginning with the Battle of the Last Alliance. And as you can see, we've been busy deploying, and we have Sauron's minions all lined up, ready to go. Sauron himself not on the board as yet, because we're using the scenario that comes in the back of the Lord of the Rings army book. So he'll be appearing on the 4th turn, and opposed against us over there are the Númenóreans and their alpha allies. And controlling is Liv. Do you want to just talk us through what you've got over there, Liv?
Right, over here we have a detachment of 12 Númenórean spearmen with 12 regular warriors in the front, and in the front line of that we have Elendil, the last king of Arnor.
There he is.
What's going to happen to him? With his son Isildur, who's got quite a few things to answer for potentially by the end of this. And then over here have the elf contingency. So by the looks of it, we've got 12. Are they double-handed guys? Have we got there?
12 with elf glaives.
12 elf glaives, 12 bowmen. Let's have a look at what we've got here. Looks like, is that Elrond?
That's Elrond.
It is.
And he's angry,
Yeah.
angry face.
This will be a very short scenario. Means over here we've got the spear elves with their shields. And at the front there we've got Glorfindel, of who the poet sadly sings. This song goes.
Also Gil-galad.
Oh, Gil-galad. And oh no.
And then supporting them just on the far side.
We have 12 bowmen from Númenor. They don't have any lords with them.
Okay, good stuff. And to get us in the mood, and to try and link it a little bit to the books, Elliot's going to read a little passage that comes from the Council of Elrond in the Fellowship of the Ring book. Over to you, Elliot.
I was the herald of Gil-galad, and I marched with his host. I was at the Battle of Dai-galad, before the Black Gate of Mordor, where we had the mastery for the spear of Gil-galad and the sword of Elendil. Eagles and Narsil, none could withstand. I beheld the last combat on the slopes of Urudrum, where Gil-galad died and Elendil fell, and Narsil broke beneath him. But Sauron himself was overthrown, and Isildur cut the ring from his hand with the hilt shaft of his father's sword, and took it for his own.
Well done. So let's see if history repeats itself, or if we write a new chapter.
Right, I'm getting my
This would be very shocking.
Okay, so we'll.
I'm getting my book and quill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, we'll be back. An update probably on the 4th turn when Sauron hopefully makes an appearance.
And don't forget the water.
Oh, the music stopped. So yes, welcome back. We've had 4 turns, and Mordor has suffered quite a lot of casualties. Elendil, who you can see in there with his son, killed a troll that was on this right flank pretty easily, I would say.
They didn't
It,
break out a sweat.
it really wasn't a problem. The elf battle line has been dispersed a little bit by the lava fields. Elrond is I think strategically at the back there, maybe making life difficult for Sauron to get to all the heroes. And talking of Sauron, there he is. He has decided to emerge there, and buried in there somewhere is Gil-galad, who he has just cast a chill soul on. Where is Gil-galad? There he is, leaning on Aeglus. Looks like he's having a breather. Taking command of the elves, actually, we've had a new arrival. Say hello, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
So it's pretty much been a bit of a warm-up for first 4 turns. There has been some elf casualties. Not that many. How many?
3.
Oh, thank God, that's depressing.
And a Numenorean
So let's now see whether Sauron can turn the tide.
of this century's war.
Okay. And we're back. What time is it?
I have no idea anymore. It's 5, I think.
So I think it's about the 8th turn, 7th
It's
turn.
5. Sauron's been going for it.
He arrived. Anyway, we're not sure what turn it is, as you may have gathered. But we have had a fight between the King of the Elves, Gil-galad, looking a bit tired, leaning on his spear, and the Dark Lord himself. Gil-galad struck up with heroic strike. Sauron chose not to, and Gil-galad won, but failed to wound the Dark Lord. So orc numbers are looking very thin. Over here, this is all pretty much Numenorean. I think there's a couple of orcs left in there.
This land.
And the guy I'm really worried about now, because he's been very impressive,
Jeff Gibbon.
is Elendil. That's out of focus. Who is now on his way over there to help out Gil-galad. Elrond is observing, maybe reading a book or something, over there. And Isildur is still over here, but as you can see, that is all Numenoreans with just the odd orc in the way. So, yeah, I think it's going to come down to those 4 versus Sauron. Still all to play for.
Okay, so alas, Gil-galad has died at the hands of Sauron. But it's not all sad news. Elendil is now going toe to toe with the big S himself. Isildur's on his way in. Elrond's around the corner. Also in the medley, we've got a couple of rather large trolls on their way to help out. It's all could go any way at the moment. There's also a horde of Numenoreans chasing after their boss, and a few orcs coming around the corner to help out as well. What's going to happen? Who on earth knows?
Hello everyone, welcome back. So it's quite late at night and we got so carried away with the game that we didn't make another video actually whilst the game was going on, which is a little bit of a shame. But essentially, to bring you up to speed, Sauron has been defeated. The game is over. The good side won, which is really good. Happy that it went the way of the books and the movie. It was close. It was quite close. Elendil, which was I think when the last instalment that we filmed, Elendil had just made it into Sauron after cutting his way across the board. Really impressive, Elendil. And unfortunately, he didn't last 5 minutes against Sauron. Really had a bad roll, and then was overwhelmingly killed by Sauron. There then ensued a Isildur and Elrond then gained the benefit of the scenario special rules, where they can heroic strike for free. A couple of wounds were put on, I think one wound was put on Isildur and one wound was put on Elrond. And the Numenoreans, which foot soldiers, which there were still quite a lot of, they started forming a ring around Sauron, but at the same time a lot of Mordor orcs were coming in from this flank over here. And both Steve and Liv were up against the clock because they were losing more Numenoreans and elves than and were quickly becoming outnumbered. So Isildur and Elrond both got into combat, and cut a long story short, it was Elrond himself who dealt the killing blow. And it was good timing, because I think another turn or two and they would have been overwhelmed. So all good, really enjoyable, thanks to Steve and Liv. Good fun. I think the changes that we made to the scenario worked really well. I followed a thread on the Great British Hobbit League Facebook page, which was really useful, because somebody had posted that this was quite an easy scenario for the good. So we made a few changes, but I have to say my experience would be if you wanted to, not that I'd recommend, Sauron could quite easily, the evil could quite easily win this scenario by simply putting a mass horde of bodies in front of him. Sauron could hide quite comfortably behind those and just chill soul all 4 of the good heroes, and I think that would actually be a fairly easy, if boring, victory. I didn't do that. The turn he arrived, I chill souled Gil-galad, but other than that, he was very much at the front, wading in and getting involved in combat, and I think it would have been fairly dull if he'd just hung back, chill souling everything in sight. So yes, all good. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching if you have watched, and if you listen to this you must have done. And we'll be posting more of these as we go through the campaign. So bye for now.